Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. The psalmist said of God, "What is man that you are mindful of him?" meant to convey the greatness and awesomeness of God, that he should care about such a creature as us, especially since we sin against him. But in light of that, man must become mindful to ask the question, what is God that I should question and judge him? Too often it seems people are ready to blame God for everything bad that happens to them, but never give thanks for all of the good. If we're amazed that God would be mindful of us, we need to humble ourselves enough to admit that we're not in a position to be cursing God, blaming God for things, or even questioning his goodness. God has always acted righteously, never wickedly. Who then are we to be able to stand in judgment of God? Throughout Job was questioning God, but not to the point of cursing God or losing his faith. Job was arrogant, and so God, since chapter 38, has been humbling Job so that Job would repent and learn not to speak presumptuously. Let's continue with God's rebuke here in Job 41. So if you have a Bible with you, you can turn to the book of Job to chapter 41. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 11. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry, just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Job chapter 41, beginning at verse 1. Can you draw out Leviathan with a hook, or snare his tongue with a line which you lower? Can you put a reed through his nose, or pierce his jaw with a hook? Will he make supplications to you? Will he speak softly to you? Will he make covenant with you? Will you take him as a servant forever? Will you play with him as with a bird, or will you leash him for your maidens? Will your companions make a banquet of him? Will they apportion him among the merchants? Can you fill his skin with harpoons, or his head with fishing spears? Lay your hand on him. Remember the battle. Never do it again. Indeed, any hope of overcoming him is false. Shall one not be overwhelmed at the sight of him? No one is so fierce that he would dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand against me? Who has preceded me that I should pay him? Everything under heaven is mine. In chapter 40, we discussed Behemoth and what that animal could have been, so if you missed that lesson, would like to watch it, look for lesson 79 in our Job series, which can be found at youtube.com/East End Church of Christ. In chapter 41, we have another creature described, this one known as Leviathan. Now, just like it was with Behemoth, there is much speculation about what the creature Leviathan is. Some say it's a sea serpent, some say it's a dragon, some say a crocodile, some say a whale, and like with Behemoth, I might also suggest it could be what we call a sea-dwelling dinosaur. He would be further described further on down in the chapter, which we will deal with, Lord willing, in the next lesson to test these hypotheses. But for now, suffice it to say, this creature is a large creature, too difficult for Job or the people of his day to capture. He cannot be snared with a hook like you could catch a fish. His jaw couldn't be pierced with a spear or a reed stuck through its nose so as to catch or kill him. Moreover, the animal cannot be tamed so that he may be put on a leash, as it were, nor will he make a covenant with you not to kill you should you come in contact with it. You can't toy with him or play with him like a bird, for he will attack when provoked. Sure, man may try to do this so that he could make food of him to sell to the merchants or put his hide to good use, but they will only try that once, for they won't live to tell the tale. So whatever animal this was not one that man should tangle with, for it was quite fierce indeed. And what I would like to note here is this: fierce animals can cohabit with man. God is describing an animal here that man cannot kill because it is too dangerous to approach. This idea that man could not live at the same time as dinosaurs because of their ferocity is just plain absurd from a biblical perspective. Lions are savage beasts, as are tigers and bears. Can we kill them? Yes, especially with our modern weaponry, but that's only if they don't kill us first after they spot us. But for all of this animal's strength and the danger it poses to man, it is no match for God. If God wanted, he could catch it with a hook, he could lift it out of the water, he could kill it, and then serve it to man on a platter. Why? Because he created it. He was the one that made it like it is, and therefore he can unmake it, as it were. If God wanted to, he could even tame it enough so that he could make it as innocuous as any small fish. God asks that with this in mind, who then is this who is able to stand before me, and who has preceded me that I should be bound to follow their demands? This statement is God's answer to Job practically demanding an audience with God so that God could explain to him why he was suffering, and then to vindicate him. Job is owed no such audience with God. He cannot even catch Leviathan, a creature infinitely less powerful than God, so who did Job think he was to presume that he could demand of God anything? Job should have known this before, but God was hammering that into him now. But God is not done, so we invite you back for the next lesson, when we will conclude God's speech to Job. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Job chapter 41, verses 12 to 34, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.